Lousy At Gaming presents Lousy at Podcasting. Now, your horrendous, dreadful, frighteningly horrible gamers and us from Lousy At Gaming.
Hello, Lousy Gamers. This is Gary, TheRealDeFo. You're listening to episode number 1 of the Lousy At Gaming Podcast. With me this week are the hosts, Geargarious.
Coming to you live from the Artfully Tony's Treasure eBay headquarters, as you can see in the background. She kind of gave me a little piece of her space so I can do these a little bit more professionally than last time. But
Improved setting. You know what I noticed last week as you spoke sometimes and hit the laptop, the camera would shake.
Yep.
You noticed that?
'Cause I had it sitting on my lap.
Yeah, I figured that.
When you're a fat fuck and you breathe, it does that.
And you can't stop breathing, at least not yet.
You can't stop breathing. Not yet. I can hold my breath until that big brown truck drives, but... And if any of you are NASCAR fans out there, you'll know what that means.
I started to get into NASCAR, and then Ed yelled at me and told me not to be into NASCAR anymore because it got too woke.
Well, who's... NASCAR?
Yeah. That's
No.
Ed. I think he was just unhappy that some of his favorites were starting to retire.
Oh, yeah, you just have to accept the fact that there's new blood coming into an old sport, Jordan still ain't playing basketball.
He's not, and he's not gonna.
No, he's not.
I saw his daughter is dating Scottie Pippen's daughter. Is that true?
Really?
Yes. Good stuff.
We can't even get into that whole fucking world.
Yeah, we don't need to. That's not this podcast.
That's not where this is.
No. So what's been going on? It was a weekend like we delayed a day because of the 4th here.
Yeah, weekend was pretty chill. I still have all my fingers. We had my granddaughter over, so we did hardcore sparklers, and that was about it. What about you?
Nothing at all. We went to a party on Monday evening, and no fireworks. We just hang out, have some beers and drinks, and then yesterday was chill. It was rainy here yesterday, so my wife and I went to Lowe's and did some shit like that.
Yeah, it rained like Saturday and Sunday and a little bit Monday. And then I think it's supposed to rain tonight. Like the temperatures have been like Chernobyl fucking hot.
Yeah, we've had a really good summer. Today is 90. I think just went out. It was just 92. So
yeah,
it's the first time it's really starting to get into the 90s here, which for this time of the year to be this late, I'll take it.
I think we had a week in May, I think it was, that we had a streak of like 4 or 5 days in the mid 90s, and it was just fucking horrendous. And then it dropped, and that's the really suck part about Michigan is you can't get your body can't acclimate to the changes. It'd be like 50 some, 60 some, and then all of a sudden in 2 days it's 95. And then like 3 days later it's 72 again.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Damn. Yeah,
yeah, pretty chill weekend.
That's good. Good to get the little grandkid out. How's your daughter doing? Everything's good over there?
My daughter?
Yeah, right. She was doing a podcast with her husband for a while and stuff, right?
She did, and COVID kind of ended that relationship.
Okay. Bummer.
So, yep. She had gotten her and her kids had all got vaccinated, and my wife and I would not, and we were no longer allowed to see our grandkids anymore.
Yeesh.
But I have a new family, so to say, my new wife and her 2 daughters and son, and my grandbaby Chloe, I love with every fiber I have in my heart.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yep.
Well, we move on then, I guess, huh?
We talked about in the first one what changes that have happened, and I think a very large portion of the world has made some changes in the past 3 years. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely. Yeah.
But you know what hasn't changed?
You still lousy?
Still a lousy gamer. I still suck.
I still suck. Are you starting to realize that over and over and over again?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I do. I still suck.
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll get into that. Let's. I thought this week maybe because we haven't really done this yet. Maybe we'll just do a little stroll down memory lane and see what some of your favorites were over the last few years. Because I mean, we haven't done these in more than that. Probably 5 or 6, 7, 10 years, maybe. I don't even know, but
it's been a long time. I know you kind of set like a 4 to 5 year limit on it, but I really struggled with trying to find
just whatever. I came up with a number.
Yeah.
I thought if I went longer, it might be harder to find, but I just kind of like the big ones that really, like I put down some of the stuff that I really sunk my time into over the last couple of years.
So for me, because I'm kind of I'm a little bit ADD when it comes to gaming. Like when something new comes out, I have to try it.
Yeah.
So then whatever I was playing kind of gets put on the back burner. But for me, like last week when we talked about God of War, and I kind of didn't give it as good of a rap as I probably should have because I went back old school and I forgot really how fantastic that game is. And Steam actually has a summer sale going on right now. And so I got it for PC for $30.
Oh, wow.
And then I got back into it and it reminded me how amazing that game really is. It's just a great game, a great story, visuals, everything. You know, fuck what God of War used to be. This is the new, and it definitely is one of my top games. Another one's probably Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you know, like the last Tomb Raider that came out. That's the very first game I ever started playing when I got into gaming. I mean, outside of Atari's Pong and all that kind of stuff, like the first game that really I went, holy shit, this is amazing, was the very first Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, yeah.
Yep. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider I really love. I played...
Well, so just talk about God of War quick. That is one of the few games that I 100%ed on the PlayStation.
You have to give up your lag card.
We're
not allowed to 100% anything.
Got so into it. Well, there was no multiplayer, so that helps. When you do the multiplayer ones, and you know, remember Gears of War had like, you know, get 3 million kills or something like that. Like, no, that's never going to happen. But
not going to do it.
It was a real tough challenge. So, if you remember the Valkyries, to 100% the game, you had to fight and beat every one of them. And I remember the last battle was just brutal. It was so hard, and I kept trying. But you know what? Once you start to build a routine and knew the attacks that were coming, you could get around. Finally, I did it, and so that was 100%. That was one of the few.
I did the same thing with Gears of War. Was the very first game I ever 100%. Well, I didn't 100% multiplayer. 100% of the story. It's first game, actually the second game I ever finished on the hardest level. There was a Call of Duty once I did that I finished on the hardest level, but I have never ever 100% of a game.
Well, the great thing about
congratulations to you.
The great thing about the Call of Duty, I mean not Call of Duty, the Gears of War playing it on the hardest difficulty was you could do co-op.
Yeah.
Right? It was one of the first games you could do co-op. That's what helped really this group really grow, Lag Group. But you could do it multiplayer. I think there were just a few cut scenes that it was easy to do solo, if I remember. But for the most part, everybody ran the campaign and then we'd get together and play it on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, that was good times.
So anyway, so what else have you been on?
I played a game called what was it called? No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
That game was freaking hilarious. Was it one of my top games? No, probably not. But I played it for quite a while and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was completely different. Just in the way the commentary was. I literally was laughing most of the time I was playing the game because it was just hilarious. And then, of course, Call of Duty, the last one, just because for me, it was so much better balanced.
The one that came out this September?
The Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Yep. Just because it was so much more balanced, I could actually play multiplayer and be semi-competitive in it. So I thought that I really enjoyed playing that, and it's been a long time since I've played a Call of Duty game that I actually enjoyed. I should probably go back and finish the campaign on it someday. And then probably I think one that really kind of didn't get a lot of time to sink in because too much other shit came out was Hogwarts.
Oh, you played that?
Yep, I played Hogwarts for a little bit.
Did you get into the books or movies or anything?
Because
I never
it's funny
did.
because I hate to read. I'm not a reader. And so, funny story, my ex and my daughter read all the books, and they were like, you have to read the books. I'm like, I can't stand reading, but okay, I'll give it a try. So I got the first book and I started reading. I got like a chapter in, and the movie came out. I was like, off the book goes. Let's go watch the movie. And so I watched all the movies. Really enjoyed the movies, and so I got the game, and it's pretty good. It's a fun game.
That's cool. Yeah, I never did anything book or movie related with that, so I didn't dabble with the game. And it came out this year. I wasn't spending any money on games this year, so
yeah,
I was unemployed, so it was not in the budget.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling. We both have been through it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Anything else you can think of?
No. How about you? What are you rolling with, brother?
Well, so I played this a lot this year, hundreds of hours. A game called Hunt Showdown on the PC. I was playing with our boys over at the Seals, so Fraser and who else? His friend Dave. It wasn't Dave that was playing. He had a whole group of folks that were playing it. So, yep. And they still are. Actually, I kind of let up recently when I started playing Diablo 4, but Hunt Showdown I just really enjoyed it, and it's a multiplayer game. And I didn't mind playing it solo. It's an extraction type game, right? So it's one of those games where you go in, you basically with this game, you go in with a build. So you have your weapons, your skin, and as you level up, you open up more weapons or more ammo for the weapons and stuff like that. There's two bosses.
Is this a multiplayer only game?
Multiplayer.
There's no campaign?
So there's one map, no campaign. They drop.
So kind of like what Rainbow did a while back.
Who's that?
Rainbow Six. They kind of just did a multiplayer, and that was it.
Yes, yeah, and it's PUBG-ish. If you remember PUBG, which I guess was also Fortnite. So it's an extraction shooter. You get in. It's 15 people go in. You can be a team of 3, and then there's 1 or 2 bosses on the map. So you look for hints or clues to find out where the boss is. When you go kill the boss, if you're the one that finds it, everybody else on the map knows where the boss is, and you get 2 bounties, and you got to extract with the bounty to an extraction. When you extract with that, you get any weapons that you find in the map, any armor, ammo, stuff like that. And you get XP, and then you can build your character up and stuff like that. But everybody knows where you are. So then it's PvE and then the PvP element of it. And it's done so well. We had so much fun. We used to do custom builds. We used to do crossbows with explosive arrow tips, and we'd go into like where the boss was. I made a video or 2 up on YouTube. We just started launching all of these arrows blowing shit up into people's house. It was hysterical. So it's a great game. They just had a new DLC last week, so I'm close to like kind of dabbling in there again, but we'll see. It was
might have to try that.
Fun. A lot of fun. Having a lot of lighting problems tonight. The sun is too bright, not bright enough here, but anyway,
I was gonna say you got really, really tan for a minute there.
That Italian skin, So now this game I played a lot of was Elden Ring, which you would think, why would somebody like me, who's lousy at gaming, play a game like Elden Ring?
I heard that was fucking frustrating game to play.
So I played Bloodborne on the PlayStation, and that was when I said, you know what, these Souls games aren't bad. I really enjoyed Bloodborne. And it can be frustrating, but you start to learn how to play and patience and stuff like that. And that was the same thing with Elden Ring. It was open world, which was different, and play patient, but you could do multiplayer too. So Duke of Dork, Sean, we played that together a ton. We had our friend Sumo in there with us, and he came in a little bit later, but we were still going back and trying to help him out. I never finished it because it was so big, but it was great. The boss fights were great. The crafting was great. Your builds, it was so well done. Really, really enjoyed that game. And again, you would think maybe I shouldn't, but I guess I've matured.
You never know, I think that's why it's always good to just try different shit. You never know what you might find is like, holy crap, I didn't think I would have any interest in this.
Yeah.
But this is amazing.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Elite Dangerous, I've gone through stages with that, and that was with Duke as well. We were playing that. Marcanix would play with us. I ended up just diving into that it was a few years ago that I just had so much fun. I was building ships for mining. I was building ships for delivering goods. I was building ships for fighting. It was great. The sound was amazing. I did hook up a VR. I had a VR. I hooked that up just to see what it was like to fly with the VR.
Oh my God.
It did look really badass.
That's one thing I want to get someday is a VR.
They're really not that useful.
Really?
They're just they're gimmicky. They're cool. Like you get it and you're like, this is really cool. And then it feels like it falls off and you're just like, eh.
It's like my wife and I have talked about, if you could buy a couple of them and then go to a retirement home and rent them out, you'd make bank.
Yeah. Well,
these retired people that these retired people that can't go anywhere anymore or experience things that they used to be able to experience, throw a VR on them and go on a roller coaster ride or jump out of an airplane or something like that, just like a whole different purpose for using VR other than just straight gaming.
Well, you would love this. YouTube did a series. I don't know if it was on the YouTube channel. I don't know if it was YouTube that was presenting the thing, but I think it was. They did a VR music sessions where they grabbed like maybe like a few musicians, like a guy from Stained and a few other guys, and they played acoustic. And they put the camera.
That would be dope.
They put the camera in the middle, so it was like you were there. It was like a small coffee house. So there's maybe 30 people there, and you just turn and look around, and you see the guys playing in front of you, and the people behind them drinking and just hanging. It was really, really cool. Like if the sound quality was awesome, you would love that.
I would love that, and that's why I say I actually the first time I ever parachuted was in a VR. And I never did it again from that, but and it was crazy because you're looking, like you said, you're in a plane and you're looking around, you're seeing the people next to you, and then all of a sudden y'all are jumping out of a freaking plane and free falling, and no matter where you look, you're looking.
Yeah,
and it blew my freaking mind.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they continue to do it. So I remember we bought our VR when COVID first hit. Because New York was like ridiculous lockdowns, right? And we couldn't go anywhere. So we picked that up. And that was like something that we were using in the beginning parts of COVID. I was playing poker. Poker games are fun too. Like you go into a virtual poker room, you get a fake cigar and stuff like that. There is some cool stuff. I will say that.
Yeah,
it just
for sure
feels kind of gimmicky in that maybe it's not going to stick yet, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, with Elite Dangerous, it looked great. And then I played this little title last year. Duke and I played it again, called V Rising. And actually, I think it got me into like the point and click shooter or kind of games like the Diablo. It was overhead, but had crafting, which is something like both Duke and I love. Like we loved, like you would go craft castles, but you were a vampire. So they put all these elements in where you had to go suck people's blood to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would, depending on if they were a skilled person, maybe you could get a certain blood type and you could store that to build your body up to do certain things that they did. You couldn't go in daylight. Like if it was daylight, you'd have to go in the shadows. It was really, really well done. The end game wasn't great, but Duke and I both finished that. Like, you take it through the end of the campaign. The boss fights were really good. It was fun.
Nice.
And I figured that was worth mentioning because we did put a decent amount of time into that. And we also played, what was the Valheim, which was also it's a whatchamacallit, a crafting game. So you go out, you chop down wood, you build houses, and you get goats and chickens and grow flowers. And
so it's kind of like a mini city builder.
No.
Is it one of those where it's like
it's kind of like Rust, but you were
you have to do it in order to survive. It's a survival.
You were a Viking. It was a survival game. You
Yeah.
were in the Viking times. You built a ship. You would go to other islands, and they had all these different biomes. So you had a mountain biome. You had the woods, and then you had the plains and stuff like that. And you get different materials from each section. It was really cool. We had a really good time with that too. Because again, I love the crafting parts of these games.
Nice.
That's the only thing I think I wish we would have in Diablo, but it makes sense that they don't.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of my little high-level summary.
List of goodies.
Anybody listening, feel free to send us an email and tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah, that's what we really want, is for those who listen to kind of get involved with this too, either with suggestions or, because like we've said before, we have the Twitter, we have the Facebook. Feel free to pop on those and drop a message to us. And, we want to grow this to... we're
going to bring this back.
We want it to be huge.
It was pretty big. We were 100 plus members at one time, I'm pretty sure.
Oh God, yeah. We were huge. I think we hit almost 300 at one time.
That was probably after the Xbox thing, right?
We did the Xbox things, then we just had a massive inrush, but we've always had this core group of players, and we just want to share that with the new generation of gamers that are out there.
That suck. And again, you don't have to suck, but it helps. Makes us feel better.
If you jump into multiplayer with us, you will suck. By our hand.
We could bring down a team really well.
Dude, really quickly.
I played a lot too, was Destiny 2. Again, that's a game I just always find myself going back to. I played it this year when they had the new major release, so I played that season worth.
That thing's free now, right?
Yeah, you can play a lot of it for free. But if you want anything good, you're gonna have to pay for it. Any of the new
that's
raids and stuff like that. But that's such an addicting game for me as well. Just that kind of shoot loot.
It's like just a good shooter.
Stuff. Yeah, it is. It's done so well.
A good co-play shooter. Yeah,
they know how to make a good shooter. And there's a lot to do. There's multiplayer, the PvP, PvE. Everything is really strong on that game.
Yep.
It just gets a little grindy, and I think you need breaks from it, which I'm in a break now.
Well, what I noticed a lot about that game is like a lot of the caves that you went into, they were all the same.
Yeah, they've changed that up a bit since the original, because they have all different types of environments now.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so that's history. So what have you been doing lately?
My ADD's got me all over the place. Like I said, God of War, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm still chipping away. So you're playing those
again right now?
Oh yeah.
On PC?
Yeah, well I just on PC. I just re-downloaded God of War, and I played about 2 hours of it yesterday while I was off, 2 to 3 hours of it yesterday, and just really getting back into that again. I'm always chipping away at Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I finished it a couple of times, so now I'm like trying to go back in and find all the secrets in the caves and that kind of stuff. So when I don't have anything else to play, I'll hit that. I downloaded EA's PGA Tour.
Yeah,
because I just love an old school golf game.
You did the demo and then you bought it, or?
I haven't bought it yet. It comes with 10 hours of free play, and I haven't gotten to that yet. I think I got like 8 hours left. So cool. I'll just hop on and burn through a couple of challenges every now and again. One I'm still chipping away through is Wolfenstein II. It's an old school shooter.
Yep. Yeah, the Wolfenstein series was very good.
It was very good, and I still enjoy playing that one. One that I just started playing, and it was free on Xbox Prime, is called Bramble, the Mountain King. Instantly fell in love with this game. It's I want to say it's an action platformer,
Okay.
I guess. So you're basically a little boy who's trying to find his sister who disappeared, and you're dealing with gnomes that help you.
Okay.
And then you're fighting against trolls and stuff like that. But there's some really good narration that goes with it. There's an incredible story to it. And my granddaughter actually sat and was watching me play the game for a while, and she was going, "Papa, go here, Papa, go there." And we played it for a while until we got to a troll called the Butcher. And I ran in there and he got chopped in half with a butcher's knife. And I said, "Okay, we're done playing this one for tonight." But I got addicted to it pretty quick. It's a beautiful game. What I like about it is it has this melodic music that's calming, and then the narration, and then you get into these fights with the trolls and stuff, and the music ramps up and everything. And then once you're done, you move out, and then you have this melodic music again. It like brings your emotions up and down, like your blood pressure up and down as you play through the game. So yeah, really been enjoying that one a lot. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Awesome, man. Love it.
Let's
Love
hear what you got.
Only one game really in my life right now. It is Diablo 4. It is.
Yep.
I love this game. I didn't know how I loved Endgame, so I did finish the campaign. And starting to trudge my way through Endgame activities. There is a ton to do after you finish the campaign. The campaign was great. The last act, which is Act 6, was amazing. It was boss fight after boss fight. It was done so well. Loved it.
Yeah.
And then getting into the end game now. So there's nightmare dungeons where the difficulty is ramped way up, but you get a lot of XP from that. They have, which you probably haven't seen yet, they have a world boss. So I got into one of those fights recently. There's a boss who's just massive. The health bar is forever. And everybody goes in on this boss and fights the boss. There are these, so they'll turn part of the map, what they call Helltide events.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns red on the map. And if you go in there, it runs for about 45 minutes, I think. And you go in and you can start to collect currency that you can use for special chests in that region. And if you die, you lose a ton of the currency. So you have to, you got to do this without dying as well.
So you're gambling.
Yeah, but it's still fun. And if you're with somebody, we'll say it's much easier. Even if you could just, and usually there's people around. So when you find somebody, like that's what I'll do is I'll just kind of make sure I'm staying close to them so that we're doing the fights together. And there's one other thing. There's other things called legions, which I think you can do at your level. So I opened up World Tier 3, which is where you start to get all this extra content now.
Mm-hmm.
To do that, you have to do what they call the capstone dungeon, and beat that, which you can do multiplayer. So if you need help with that, you always grab somebody. And I think you have to do it again to get to level 4, World Tier 4. And from what I read was I should wait till at least level 65. So I think I'm like up to 57 right now.
Jesus Christ.
I
forgot to mention that I was playing that.
Yeah, I thought you might have left it off just because we would talk about it together. So how you making out?
Yep.
Did you get through Act 2 yet?
No, I have not. I thought, okay, so here's lag for you, okay, folks? I thought the boss battle that I had that was the end of Act 2 was really only like in the middle. And I struggled with that old hag, the violin playing lady on the top of the mountain. So I finally beat her, and I'm like, yes! And then I was like, nope, not yet. You still got to go through this castle, and you got to go through this. And then the guy's son was taken away. And now I got a 3-headed fucking devil dog with a dude riding on its back. I got to finish off.
The interesting thing about that game is, I think depending on your play style, you will struggle. So there was this one boss I fought called Brawl, who I struggled mightily with. Like, I probably died 15 times before I got help to come in from a friend. But the fight at the end of Act 2, which is the 3-headed dog, I whizzed through that without a problem.
Right. And I think the difference is because I'm running Barbarian, and you can your attacks are close. Yeah. You have no range.
I don't have much range with the build I did, but there was just, my character's fast. So when I saw the 3-headed dog getting ready to do something I didn't want to do, I would move away.
Yeah. See, I can't move that fast, and so I'm like a lug.
Yep.
I've got a lot of power, but the second I get in there and try and slam everything, 3 dogs, fire breath, and I'm done.
I will definitely help you. My character's freaking so
Gigi
good.
said she was going to help me too, so we need to hop in and get me through that bitch so I can keep on moving.
It was funny. So I told you Brawl was like one of my hardest fights in the game. Harder than the last fight, the last fight of the game, which is hard.
Yeah.
Probably the second hardest fight I had. For whatever reason, I had trouble with that guy, Brawl. My son's playing through the game, and he got to Brawl. I think he's in Act 3. And I jumped on because my son died the first time, and I was like, I'll come help you. We wasted this guy, like, completely. So my character's definitely getting much better.
Yeah, I'm just we'll hop in, and then I'll go cower in a corner and let you and Gigi knock his ass out.
Well, if you die,
I'll move on.
We can revive you, so don't be worried.
I'm not worried. I'm used to dying, so that's no big deal for me.
It's the way it is.
It is.
So, all right. Well, I guess that's kind of a show. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, don't forget, email the show, lousyatgaming@gmail.com. Look in the notes of the show notes. We're all over now. So we were on Apple, we're on Google. I don't know if I got the email that we got put up on Google. We're on Amazon, so you can tell Alexa to play us.
Yep.
And obviously we're on Spotify, which is the main source for us, where you can see video, and YouTube.
Yep. And also, if you want to be a guest, make sure you let us know.
Yep. We got an open chair, so
there's a lot of space on this computer yet. So
we definitely would love to have you in. Jump on the Discord. If you haven't been around for a while, get back over there. Start hanging out with us. And
it's been growing quite a bit lately.
We do a little facelift to the Discord soon, kind of recategorize things and try to make it a little bit more seamless. Yep. We were talking about putting some new categories maybe, so you can collapse those out if you don't want to see anything about the stories, like the 1 and 2, 3 stories, and all that stuff. So we're gonna try to clean that up to make it easier for our users. And I think we're gonna do some roles. So if you want to opt in, if you're playing Diablo and you want help, then we'll be able to get you into a role where you could just say @Diablo and boom. Everybody that's in that group will get a message. So if you're looking for help for a fight, you just go in there and you pop that. Much easier to find friends to play with. So
yeah, and I'm fairly new to Discord, so I'm still learning it, and so I'm Defo's teaching me a lot of cool shit that we can do in it that we didn't have options for when we had the .com. So
yeah, it's a little different world now.
Yeah, it is completely different world.
So. Well, good stuff.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah. And no closing music anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to piss off Bon Scott.
We had AC/DC on last week. If you got one of the early shows, you heard it, and then I had to take it down. So I don't know. I guess we just won't do that.
We'll find something else as exit music. But
yeah, we'll get there. But until next week, I hope you guys have a great time. Enjoy your dying and play lousy.
Keep on gaming.
Later.
Peace.